Another Texas House race we're watching closely stretches across Dallas County. Texas House District 112 includes parts of Dallas, Garland, Mesquite, Richardson, Rowlett, and Wiley.
Democrat Averie Bishop, a part-time substitute teacher, consultant, and former Miss Texas, is the daughter of a fifth-generation Texan father and a Filipino immigrant mother. She's trying to unseat State Representative Angie Chen Button, a Republican from Richardson. Now, Button's parents fled communist China to Taiwan. She then came to America for school and to work for Texas Instruments. The representative will join us next week. This week, we hear from Bishop.
What is the difference between you and the incumbent Angie Chen Button? Why should voters choose you?
I'm running for office because there are two major issues on the ballot. One that impacts working families, students, young people, old people, and that is number one, abortion and reproductive health care. And second, public school funding. Polls show this, the doors show this when I knock on doors and I meet with my constituents. These two issues are so urgent that I decided to run for office instead of waiting till I'm older or more educated, right? I think now is the time for someone like me to step up and to serve the community that raised me. What sets me apart from Angie is my personal experience. I was born and raised here in North Texas. My mom is a Filipino immigrant who was a maid, came here for the American dream, and my dad still is a school bus driver and is a fifth-generation Texan. And they taught me the importance of working hard, of grit, of resilience. And so I took those values and I pursued what I thought was the American dream for myself.
This district, for a while, was a really hotly competitive swing district. In 2021, the Republican-controlled legislature redrew the boundaries to make it more favorable for a Republican candidate. Are there enough Democratic voters in the district for you to win?
There are enough voters to win, for sure. Are they Democrats? Mostly they are, but we're also looking at independent voters, too. We know that having walked the walk and blocked the block, essentially knocking on those doors, we know that we're going to be able to swing those voters over to our side, specifically because of the importance of public school funding. A lot of these voters who are living in these neighborhoods impacted by the school closures may have never voted before in their life. But now they are, because they are so aggravated at the fact that public schools are not funded, our teachers are not getting higher salaries, and our students are being left behind.
I'm sure when you're knocking on doors, you may hear some skeptical folks that have voted for Representative Button in the past. She's been there for a decade or so. What do you say to the voters who may just say, we're just looking for more life experience?
Yeah, age doesn't matter, because you know what? I have the life experience already. I have lived a life that most people have not lived in the past decade. I have served my constituents in so many different ways that the incumbent has not. I am just as well spoken, just as well experienced, just as educated, and just as passionate, if not more, than the incumbent. And my age often transcends people's first perceptions of me when they open the door. They open the door and they're like, have you even graduated high school yet? And then they're so shocked that I've graduated law school, that I have a nonprofit, that I've served as Miss Texas, and that I volunteer as a substitute teacher in the district.
Immigration also is one of the big things that the Texas legislature will deal with. Is there anything that the state is doing that you think we should not be doing on immigration?
You know, I certainly agree in making sure that we secure the border in a humane way, right? Just making sure that it's safe and that our guards are protected and that we eliminate any sex trafficking, illegal drugs coming over that southern border. That is our top priority. But second, because my mom immigrated to the state of Texas as well, I think we should provide asylum and opportunities for people to come here and pursue the American dream like my mom did, and just as I am doing right now. And we can do that in an efficient way, right? We can make sure that we hire enough judges and attorneys and administration to make sure that the backlog of individuals who are eligible to come here receive that well-needed legal support so that they can come here and pursue that dream.
Pitch to the moderate voters out there.
Okay.
If this becomes all the Republicans come home, all the Democrats come home, you may not win.
Okay.
Why should they vote for you, the middle of the road folks?
Oh, goodness. I think the major thing that will speak to them is the fact that the incumbent takes so much money from PACs and billionaires that are outside of the state of Texas. And so she's essentially puppeteered She cannot be an independent thinker. She cannot be a critical thinker when she makes those votes. I'm running a grassroots campaign, true and tried. My dad, who was a school bus driver, ran for mayor of McKinney when I was 17 with no college degree, and he inspired me to run despite so many challenges in front of us, which oftentimes is finance. It's money. And at the end of the day in Texas, because there's a lack of campaign finance reform, our lawmakers are bought. And I'm tired of it. I'm done. And so I'm running for office because I can't be bought.
Any specific person you think that is buying Representative Button?
So there are PACs already who are funded by school voucher supporters, like Betsy DeVos, who is buying mailers in the district, claiming that Angie Chen Button is a champion of public school funding. Can you imagine? She voted for school vouchers, voted against raising teacher pay, voted against federally funded public school lunches, which I would have benefited from when I was growing up. That is not a public school champion, in my opinion.
Well, Gromer, because you mentioned the campaign finance issue, I pulled the reports. Averie Bishop has cash on hand of $106,000. Representative Button has $738,000. And if Representative Button was here, she would say, you know, I'm sure some of the school choice supporters are putting money behind her campaign, but so are businesses, so are her former colleagues. You know, she would say, I just have more support.
And remember, she's an incumbent, so she's going to have or should have a fundraising advantage over a challenger making her first run for public office. So yeah, I mean, that's how it works. You're a candidate, you raise money, and typically you raise money from people who they share your values or they agree with you on issues. It doesn't mean that you're bought or something like that. You know, sometimes it does, but that's how politics works.
Attorney General Ken Paxton goes